whatever hotel or whatever facility they might be in with Eric Spoelstra and the rest of his staff? What are they thinking right now? What do you think they're drawing up coming off of game one, needing obviously to take one in Denver, game two being their best chance, it appears, right now? What do you think, Stephen A.?
Well, number one, they're in a world of trouble. That's what they're thinking. They're praying a lot because divine intervention may be necessary in all of this. That's number one. Number two, the reason is because they're not, you don't have anything on the interior. Yeah, Bam Adebayo scored 26 points from 25 shots. But a lot of them were mid-range. They're willing to forfeit that in order to key on other guys to make sure that those undrafted players, 7 to be exact, that have a lot of playing time in the postseason for Eric Spoelstra and the Miami Heat. Let's make sure there's a hand in their face, there's a body in front of them. Let's make sure we can test them to remind them they were undrafted for a reason, and there's levels to this. And that's what they've done. Gabe Vincent had a decent shooting game, shoot 50% last night. But Caleb, Martin shot 1 for 7. Max Strus shot 0 for 10. Duncan Robinson shot 1 for 6 coming off the bench. I mean, that's 2 for 23 overall. That's god-awful. And there's no way in hell that you're going to beat the Denver Nuggets if you're shooting the basketball like that, particularly when it's coming from your perimeter shooters who are all combining to average about 56 points per game in this postseason, and we're shooting pretty damn well from beyond the arc. They've got to hit perimeter shots. They don't have anything in the interior. There's no Shaq for them. There's no Tim Duncan for them. There's no Joel Embiid for them. There's nobody for them. Bam Adebayo is not somebody that's going to do something for you on the interior going up against a guy like Jokic. They've got to be able to hit perimeter shots. And you got to be like the Golden State Warriors in effect in this regard. Push the ball up the floor, and we're going to beat you with our perimeter game because we know we don't have much on the interior to offset what you're going to throw in our direction. So their only hope is to hit perimeter shots. I don't see any other way that the Miami Heat can even make this a series, let alone win the series, unless they're shooting at an elite fashion. And keep this in mind too, Rich. Mm-hmm. The Boston Celtics were beating the Miami Heat in every single category: second chance points, fast break points, all of this other stuff they were doing. Shot, their field goal percentage shooting. Miami outshot them from 3. That's how they won the series. It was pretty much the only category they had beaten Boston in, shooting threes. I don't think they can do that against Denver, but they need to try.
Well, you led me to the question I was going to ask you, and so I'll ask it, Stephen A. Smith, is wherever the Celtics are sitting right now, whether it's Tatum or Mazzulla or Brad Stevens, who announced that Mazzulla's coming back, what are they thinking after watching the Heat in Game 1, do you think?
They're sick to their stomach because they know they would have been a better matchup against Denver. You got to consider this. Gabe Vincent is relatively miniature. Jimmy Butler is your star, but he's undersized, particularly when being guarded by Aaron Gordon or Jeff Green, to a lesser degree Nikola Jokic. You look at these other role players, they're role players for a reason. You look at Bam Adebayo, he's severely undersized against Jokic himself. Now you transition to Boston. Well, Jason Tatum wouldn't be undersized. Jaylen Brown wouldn't be undersized. Derek White wouldn't be undersized. Malcolm Brogdon wouldn't be undersized. And although Al Horford and Robert Williams would be undersized against Nikola Jokic, it's not by that much. And both of them live on defense. And in Al Horford's case, he's got a set shot from the perimeter that would have pulled Nikola Jokic away from the basket, or even in Aaron Gordon, so they wouldn't have been able to reside in the paint, neutralizing and nullifying anything you were going to throw in their direction from 10 feet and in. Boston could have offset that. Miami doesn't have the personnel to do it. So Miami's only hope is to hit perimeter shots from the outside or get out of Denver with this high altitude, get to South Beach with that fresh air coming off the beach and run all day, every day, and try to exhaust the likes of Aaron Gordon or Nikola Jokic into getting into foul trouble and things of that nature. You got to try to pull off something like that in order to win this series. Again, it's a daunting task. It's highly unlikely, but it is a formula that you have available to you to at least try to give yourself some hope.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.